से जा रहा था, टन टन टन, भेलपुरी खा रहा था, टन टन टन, तुझे मिर्ची लगी तो मैं क्या करूं? Oh my God! I can't get this song out of my head. We like to think that we're in control of everything, but there's a lot of things that just happen to us because our brain is in control of them. Involuntary actions, like that song that gets stuck in your head. Or how about that moment where you're talking to somebody and you suddenly start getting these little shivers and goosebumps and you're like, wait a minute, where the hell did that just come from? So today on The Whack, we're gonna sit and explore just that. The term is described as earworm and it's derived from the German word Ohrwurm. It's that moment where that song is just playing on repeat mode again and again and again till you almost want to tear your ears off. This word earworm, it came into our dictionaries quite recently in the 1970s and it's been around for quite a while. It was most popularly known as the Piper's maggot. In a recent study that was conducted, they found that almost 91% of people said that they suffered from earworm once a week. And a quarter of them said that they actually suffered from it more than once in a day. Earworm or the Piper's maggot is an involuntary thought. And 30 to 40% of our conscious thoughts are involuntary. The auditory cortex is what plays a very important part when you're having a earworm. The cortex gets activated when you're listening to a song. But then that song keeps playing in your brain even when the song physically stops. It's playing in your memory. So if you have to really romanticize it, it's like your brain is singing a song. Earworms will obviously happen when you're doing a mundane task, something that is not very interesting and probably like a daily activity. Like you're walking up steps, you're waiting in a line, or for me, when it pops up the most is when I'm having a bath. Of course, then that also translates into me being in the privacy of my bathroom where the song that's in my head will also come out nice and loudly. Boredom is another trigger for earworms. A research study was conducted where they found that when these guys were solving puzzles, the level of difficulty of the puzzle had to do a lot with the earworm getting triggered. The puzzles that were very difficult or the ones that were very easy were the moments when the earworm was triggered. Medium level of difficulty on a puzzle, well, that didn't really seem to trigger anything. Another reason why earworm occurs is because our brain thinks that songs are unfinished tasks. Now, let me break it down for you. There's this moment where you're exchanging numbers with somebody and as they're saying the number out, you're repeating it in your head again and again till you actually save it on your phone. Once you finish saving it, it's almost like it's thrown out of your memory. Now this is known as a Zeigarnik effect. If somebody is in the middle of a task and they're interrupted, they would remember it way better than if after the task is finished. So our poor brain, it basically thinks that songs are unfinished business. So what kind of songs normally get stuck in your head? Songs that are very catchy, songs that have that one word that keeps repeating again and again. And most of the time, it will definitely be the chorus. It's the chorus that keeps repeating again and again in a song. The repetitive part is the most catchy part of any song. Now you would think people who work in the music industry or have some kind of association with music, yeah, they're the ones that suffer from earworms the most. But also, research shows that people who have OCDs tend to have earworms very often. Songs like YMCA, Who Let the Dogs Out, and Michael Jackson's songs were known to be the most common earworms that a lot of people suffered from. And if they had to have conducted a study like this in India, then I'm thinking in the list of songs, there might be like some Kishore Kumar or some R.D. Burman. Yo-Yo Honey Singh? I hope not. So now that you've got that damn song stuck in your brain, how do you get rid of it? It's quite simple. Chewing gum actually inhibits your brain from remembering the song. Distract yourself. Try and listen to maybe like another song. Or engage yourself. Listen to the whole song so that your brain thinks that it's now memorizing the entire song and it's not an unfinished task anymore. So a song stuck in your head, I don't think it's such a bad thing. It's a good way to go through your day. But on the other hand, that little creepy sensation that you get, something crawling all over your skin, goosebumps, somebody walked over my grave, which is what it's most popularly known as. Let's find out why that happened. A lot of times these cold sensations and goosebumps, well, they can be explained. You've seen a horror movie or you're scared of something. But there's certain responses that happen in our body which are just taking place on autopilot, like your heart regulating the heartbeats, yawning, sneezing. That is what is known as ANS. Now this kind of a response, well, you can trace it back as an evolutionary side effect, something that we've actually inherited from our animal ancestors. When they were cold, the hair on their body would stand up. As the hair would stand up, the skin would contract, and this would provide an extra layer of insulation. Another time when you see this kind of response is when one is feeling threatened. You know, when you look at a dog and he's right in the middle of going to get into a fight and you see his hair stand up, well, that's an involuntary reaction to try and make yourself look bigger than your opponent. Now, the part of the brain that controls a reaction like this is called as the hypothalamus. So other than trying to put on like a defensive mode, the hypothalamus also is something that is connected to our emotions, which is why we also get random shivers when we are very emotional. Sometimes you find yourself getting these cold sensations, goosebumps, walking over the grave, even when you're in a non-threatening situation. Well, that's just your body trying to regulate itself, even when the temperature is normal. There's actually a group of people out there that thrive on this sensation. They're called as Frishners, and these are the kind of people that come together and experience music that sends those little chills down their spine. And how about cashing in a little bit on goosebumps as well? Scientists in South Korea have actually figured a way how to measure goosebumps, how big they are and how long they last. They're taking this information and they're selling it to marketers and advertisers so that they can use these responses and connect it to their products on how to sell it to us and get that more emotional response from you and me. Well, that's it from me today on The Whack. I'm sure you're going to have tons of things that you want to put down in the comment section below. I can't wait for us to engage in a conversation. But before I leave, I just wanted to say one thing to you. मैं तो रास्ते से जा रहा था. I bet you're going to be singing the song now for the rest of the day. Like this video, share this video. I'm sure you have a lot of earworms in common with a lot of your friends. And more importantly, if you have a certain phenomenon that is unexplainable that you want me to explore, tell me in the comment section below. And if it's interesting enough, of course, I'll check it out. I'll catch you again very soon. And if you just joined us, welcome to the tribe. This could be like even, you know, a bully in your class or a teacher that keeps picking on you, a co-worker, your boss. There'll be people like that you will encounter in your life. According to them, if the dimensions of the building, being the pyramid, was not proportioned to the golden ratio, then the dead or the deceased would not make it to the afterlife and they would not please the gods.